the coloring techniques perfected by master painters of the Edo period have now been brilliantly revived by contemporary painters inheriting their skills. Shōdendō Kangi-in Shōdendō, a masterpiece that brings together the pinnacle of Japan's architectural decoration. Let us now trace the 8-year journey of its restoration. The first step of the restoration work has begun. The very first task is cleaning the carvings and wall surfaces. Using brushes, dust and dirt are carefully removed. To avoid damaging the painted surfaces, the work is done gently with soft brush tips. Over the long years, dust and grime had become firmly attached to the carvings. This cleaning is also carried out on exterior painted areas. After brush cleaning, deeper stains and surface discoloration are removed. First, layers of Japanese paper are applied, while a water-based funori, seaweed glue, solution is brushed on to moisten the surface. After leaving it for a full day, the stains rise to the surface. In a half-dry state, the paper is carefully peeled away. The dirt and stains adhere to the paper. At times, the moistened area is tapped with the finger to help transfer stains into the paper. Cleaning is done with utmost care to avoid scratching or dislodging any of the paint. The obame carvings that decorate the exterior were dismantled, and investigation of the painted surfaces began. The first step was photographing the current condition. By shifting positions slightly each time, 42 photographs were taken for every single obame panel. Multiple photos are taken because they are later combined to create an orthographic image. Ortho in Greek means correct or undistorted, and an orthographic image is a distortion-free projection image, commonly used in maps. A laser scanner is used to measure the three-dimensional coordinates of each obame carving. Normal photographs are based on rays radiating from the center of the lens, which causes distortion at the edges. For large components like the obame carvings, this distortion becomes significant. Therefore, the measured 3D coordinates provide the base reference for merging the photos. To produce accurate orthographic images. Next, the investigation of surviving paint layers began. Japanese painter Mr. Baba joined the project as an advisor for both the survey and the restoration of the colors.
中手であれば、そうだね。これはやっぱ分析した方がいいんじゃないの？これも。 で、ここの部分、ここの部分のこの白い部分出るの。あの色が実際に白なのか、雪顔料にあるのかね。
By incorporating scientific analysis, the restoration can be done with greater precision. Tiny fragments of surviving color were collected and analyzed to identify the original materials. Each sampling location was carefully recorded. While preparing analysis samples, at the Agne Technical Center in Aoyama, Tokyo, pigment analysis was conducted. Even from minuscule color fragments, the types of pigments used simultaneously can be identified. The test samples were placed onto the instrument platform. Many analysis methods exist, but the one used here was X-ray diffraction analysis. As a result, the pigments originally used were identified. For red, Shinsia, cinnabar, and Bengra, red iron oxide. For green, Rakusho malachite. For blue, Gunyo, azurite, and smalt. For white, Gofun, oystershell white, and Bengra. At the site, the creation of Shita-ai, under drawings, began. Enlarged, life-sized photocopies of the carvings were used, and their outlines were transferred using Nensi, carbon transfer paper. Nensi functions similarly to carbon paper today. It is placed between the photo print and Japanese paper. Creating Shitai underdrawings is part of the color investigation process, helping the artists understand the form and characteristics of the carvings. The transferred outline lines are inked over with sumi ink. Through this process, the painters test their brush movement. Then, based on the findings of the survey, the Shita-ai are colored with poster paints to understand the overall color scheme. The painters proceed while referencing photographs and making ongoing adjustments. This work will later be published, and also serves as valuable training for the actual restoration painting to come.
実際はそうだとも少し色をさ、例えば13番でやるとかね、で葉っぱのところは9番でやるとかして、おそらく13番塗ってさ、で白録に白5分に混ぜて。
Advisor Mr. Baba, the on-site director from the Architectural Conservation Association, and painter Mr. Osawa discuss and decide which colors will be used.
カラコの雪玉にもなんかそうなのがあったりする。
あれは多分ああ、ひょっとしたら5分の中にポカナツ混ぜてね、ぼかしてるかもしれない。だからパンの中に水道が入ったりするとシワ化のように屈折高くなるから発色がよく見える。
While investigations continue, restorers perform hakuraku dome, flaking stabilization, on the cleaned painted surfaces. the interior paintings will receive preservation-oriented repairs to maintain remaining paint far into the future. Haku-raku-dome is a process in which loose paint is re-adhered, so it will not continue to flake. Here, a mixture of animal glue, nikawa, and funerary is used. Tapping the remaining colored areas with the finger checks whether the paint is lifting. Nikawa is made by boiling the bones or skins of cattle and other animals, then drying and solidifying the extract. Its main component is gelatin, and it has been widely used as an adhesive in painting. In this restoration, a fish-based nikawa made from fish skins and swim bladders was used instead of animal-based glue, because it penetrates better and deteriorates less. Compared to regular nikawa, it can be applied from the paint surface side as well. This glue is also used on the abame panels. This fish-derived glue is called Nibenikawa. Its raw materials are the skin and swim bladder of fish in the croaker family, Nibe. Since Nibenikawa is not commercially available, Mr. Baba developed his own manufacturing method. After thoroughly drying the raw materials, water is added, and they are slowly simmered. With long simmering, the collagen contained in the skin and bladders dissolves into the liquid. This collagen becomes the base of the nikawa glue. To produce higher quality glue, nikawa solution aged for 3 years is added. The well-mixed glue solution is poured evenly into trays and dried. Once partially dried, it is cut into thin strips to accelerate drying. The manufacturing of Nibenikawa is also the result of research achievements. When dried thoroughly in sunlight, nikawa can be stored long-term. The fully dried glue is wrapped in pesticide-free rice straw for storage. Mr. Baba explains the effectiveness of Nibenikawa.
絵の具が支持体から剥がれているものとか浮いているものとかそういう特に顔料とかあるいは漆でも多少はみたいですけどね、金箔とかそういうものを上からかけて定着させることが可能ということ。
After cleaning is completed, the remaining colors on the obame carvings become clearly visible. In this restoration, the exterior coloration will be fully restored. To preserve surviving colors, hakurakudome is also applied. Syringes are used in areas difficult to reach from the surface. Nibenikawa, based stabilization, will likely gain increasing attention in the future. The structure that marked the peak of architectural coloring during the Edo period was Nikko Toshogu. Toshogu, which enshrines Tokugawa Ieyasu, underwent massive reconstruction under the third shogun, Tokugawa Iemitsu, in Kane 13, 1636. The major shrine buildings were completed. The carvings and architectural decorations that adorn these structures embody the pinnacle of craftsmanship of the time. Every technique was used to its fullest, creating architecture of remarkable splendor. Now, let us introduce the traditional Japanese techniques of architectural coloring. The most common technique in architectural painting is hirasaishiki, flat color painting. Because the finished surface is flat, this technique is known as flat color painting. Within hirasaishiki, painting with a single pigment color is called saishiki, solid color painting. Saishiki may also be referred to by the name of the pigment used, such as vermilion coating, green coating, or gofun, white shell pigment coating. At present, the white gofun coating used at Nikko Toshogu can be seen on many buildings, including the Yomeimon Gate. Another technique requiring great effort is okiage saishiki raised relief painting. The outlines of motifs are raised using pigment mixtures, upon which gold leaf is applied, to create a three-dimensional effect. The material used for this raised effect is a paste made from charcoal and gofun mixed together, a dense pigment ideal for okiage buildup. This technique makes the motif outlines stand out prominently. Next is ike saishiki, metal foil underpainting. In this method, gold leaf is applied over the entire surface using lacquer or diluted glue, Nibenikawa. Then colors are painted on top, because the coloring sits above gold. The resulting expression is extremely luxurious. Oil-based coloring. Generally, we use Nikaba, boiled linseed oil glue, as the base for coloring. Ike saishiki uses plant-based drying oils, such as perilla oil and painting oils. It is an ancient technique used not only over gold leaf but also over lacquer finishes. Then there is hone, painting in the manner of fine art, artistic images found on screens, sliding doors, and temple murals. These works were painted by master artists of the time. In this way, Japanese architectural coloration employs a wide variety of techniques. At Nikko Toshogu, of course, and also at the Shōdendō currently under restoration, these methods are fully utilized. To bring out the beauty of the carvings and architectural components to their highest level.
今回はかなりレベルの高い彫刻であるにしてね、でその表情が非常に豊かだということと、要するにそれに対しての技術力が非常に高いということですね。我々もそういうだけの意識を持ちたいということで。
The Nikko painting team instructs the painters on the mindset required before beginning color restoration.
これの彫刻全体の
その設計図というか見取り図を作るわけ。
Before restoration begins, the painters prepare a line drawing diagram and a color restoration plan. They first start by tracing the shapes of the obame carvings. The processed orthographic images are printed at full size, and a transparent film is placed on top to trace the carved outlines. With this method, even intricate three-dimensional carvings that are difficult to trace directly can be accurately reproduced as undistorted outline drawings. Next, the patterns and coloration actually present on the carvings are examined in detail. Areas difficult to see are moistened with water to reveal surviving paint. The remaining colors are then confirmed. The surrounding hues and patterns are inferred based on what remains. Results from visual observation are recorded directly onto photographs. Extensive knowledge of Japanese polychrome painting and many years of restoration experience are required. In areas where the paint, colors, have completely flaked off, a different method of visual inspection is used. The room is darkened, and a light is shone diagonally across different sections of the large carved panels. Then, even in places where the color has fallen away, traces of patterns remain as subtle differences in surface sheen. From these traces and residual forms, even the original pigments can be inferred. These findings are compared with results from material analysis and preliminary drawings to create more reliable documentation. The production of the outline drawings is based on films traced from ortho images and photographs. On the traced film, while checking the actual carvings, all fine patterns and various details of the original colors are added. Information obtained from visual observation is also recorded precisely and carefully. Thin Japanese paper is then placed over the completed film, and all the information written on the film is transferred onto it, creating the outline drawings. Sometimes the Japanese paper and film are compared side by side to ensure no copying mistakes. The outline drawings records the exact condition before restoration. Information such as types of pigments used and techniques of application is also recorded as marks and written notes on the drawing. Even the momentum of the original brushstrokes is carefully reproduced down to the smallest patterns. The outline drawings includes all information gathered up to this point. When restoration of the Shōdendō is undertaken again in the future, it will surely serve as an important reference material. When the outline drawings is complete, the creation of the color reconstruction diagram begins. Unlike the outline drawing, This one is painted with actual pigments to show the color state concretely. The pigments used must be the same as those confirmed to have been used at the time of original construction. Pigments. Japan has long used a wide variety of pigments in painting. They are still produced by methods that have remained unchanged for centuries, and continue to be used in Japanese painting and architectural polychrome work today. Hokkaido, a long-established shop in Kyoto specializing in Japanese painting materials. Its shelves are packed tightly with various pigments. Japanese pigments are primarily made from minerals. The manufacturing of natural mineral pigments begins by finely crushing the raw mineral. The crushed mineral is then processed using a method called suibi, creating the pigment. Suibi is the process of sorting particles by size, using differences in settling speed in water. When powdered minerals are placed in water, fine particles float while coarse particles sink. At the same time, impurities such as sand are removed. Repeatedly performing this process produces many pigments with clean, uniform particles. Through countless repetitions of suibi, the vivid colors of azurite, made from malachite ores, begin to appear beautifully. Blue pigments, azurite, come from azurite ore. Green pigments, malachite, come from malachite ore. Red pigments come from cinnabar ore. These mineral ores are the primary sources of natural mineral pigments. These pigments are used to paint the color reconstruction drawings. Based on all previous investigations, the pigments and techniques judged appropriate are used to paint meticulously, just as on the actual object. Creating the color reconstruction diagram is an essential step before actual painting. And when preserved alongside the outline drawings, it becomes precious material for future restorations. The completed reconstruction diagram. Its vivid colors evoke the polychrome painting that will be restored on the carvings. With the outline drawings and reconstruction diagrams complete, restoration can finally begin on the object itself. The restoration aims to repaint while preserving any remaining original colors. Full-scale restoration of the Shōdendō has begun. First, Mikawa biki, diluted Nikawa glue, is applied over all wooden surfaces to be painted. This is the process of reinforcing the base, called ki-gatame, surface consolidation. This step is indispensable in polychrome painting that uses Nikawa as a binder, and was also done originally. Next comes a new method being tested in this restoration. In order to preserve the original coloring beneath the restored painting, small pieces of Japanese paper are torn and applied to the painted surfaces. The fibers of the paper protect the remaining original colors. The adhesive used is a mixture of wheat paste and Nikawa, which can be removed later simply by moistening with water. This ensures that the colors from the time of construction will remain for future generations. Preparation of the hashirabuto, pillar undercoat pigment for the base layer has begun. Based on the material analysis done beforehand, azurite and white lead are mixed first. Then brass powder is added. Azurite, white lead, and brass powder. The mixture of these three pigments is the hashirabuto. Mikawa glue solution is gradually added to the hashirabuto, mixing thoroughly. Using hashirabuto as an undercoat is a technique unique to Kano school architectural painting. Repeating this process produces the prepared pigment for the hashirabuto underlayer. The undercoat is applied to the monkey sculptures along the lower veranda of the inner sanctuary. After the base consolidation, hashirabuto is brushed over the entire surface. The hashirabuto underlayer is known for providing excellent adhesion for the polychrome layers. The same undercoat is applied to the eaves and around the bracket complexes. However, areas covered with protective Japanese paper, preserved original colors, are not painted with hashirabuto, as the azurite and brass powder may adversely affect the preserved color beneath. Next, the gofun, white pigment, undercoat is prepared. First, the gofun is kneaded thoroughly. Then Mikawa glue is added and mixed. Like the hashirabuto, this process is repeated many times. The difference is a step called tataki, rolling the mixed gohun into a ball and striking it repeatedly inside a mortar. Striking it improves integration with the glue and produces a smoother undercoat. After striking, it is kneaded again, and the undercoat gofun is finally ready. This gofun undercoat is applied over the hashirabuto. The gofun layer improves color development of the upper pigments. And when applied over hashirabuto, it also prevents azurite from bleeding upward. Whenever hashirabuto is used, a gofun layer must always be applied on top. Once the gohun undercoat is finished, coloring begins. Clothing patterns here are being drawn lightly in pencil. This is the area where okiage, raised color painting, will be built up. A mixture of red ochre and gofun is applied repeatedly onto the outline areas, gradually building them up into a semi-cylindrical relief. Meticulous work continues so that the raised effect will finish beautifully. The raised decoration technique is also applied to the large carved panels. Fine outlines and patterns are layered repeatedly, bringing out the characteristic relief. In raised decoration painting, these relief outlines and patterns are always done first. After the raised layer dries sufficiently, Nikawa is brushed on as an adhesive for gold leaf. It must be applied thinly and evenly so later work proceeds smoothly. After applying Nikawa, gold leaf is placed onto the raised parts. It is pressed down with cloth to adhere, and excess leaf is brushed away. Other areas are later painted, completing the raised decoration process. Various decorative techniques are used in the coloring of the large carvings. Flowers and leaves are painted using bukashi gradation techniques. Gold leaf is applied mainly at the edges, so this is called sumabaku decoration. Ungan-style color gradation is also applied to the large carvings. It is a technique of applying gradations of the same color family in layered bands. This enhances three-dimensionality and decorative effect, and developed in the Heian period. Thus the polychrome work on the large carvings progresses. Final coloring is being done on the monkey carvings of the corridor. First, the face is painted with a mixture of vermilion and gohun. Next, the same mixture is used to paint the body. The corners of the eyes and eyelids are then painted using bukashi. The techniques and expressions mastered by painters 250 years ago, the modern painters now recreate with their brushes. The final line work requires exceptional delicacy. Fine hairs and details drawn with ink and gold pigment greatly affect the finished appearance. With this, the painting of the monkey sculpture is complete. Coloring of the carvings adorning the front of the worship hall is also steadily progressing. First, a light tone of the same color family is applied, followed by the final colors. Although the painters skillfully bring the work to completion, Their work is supported by the extensive surveys that preceded it. Through such painstaking efforts, the polychrome restoration of cultural properties is accomplished. The final stage of the Shōdendō restoration has finally arrived. It is the finishing color work on the 7 lucky gods carved in the innermost sanctuary. When the 7 gods' faces are finished, the 8-year restoration of the front, middle, and rear halls of the Shōdendō will at last come to an end. The coloring techniques perfected by master painters of the Edo period have now been brilliantly revived by contemporary painters inheriting their skills. On November 18, 2010, the restoration of the Shōdendō was safely completed and opened to the public. The carvings on the front of the rear hall regained their original vivid colors. Looking from the rear hall to the middle and then the inner hall, the intricately studied dual sword motif has been fully restored. The inner hall in particular is covered entirely with carved polychrome. The large carvings depict the 7 lucky gods, painted with raised and flat techniques. Another carving theme is children playing traditional games. The lively expressions of the children are rendered beautifully. Though the relief on these carvings is shallow, the modeling brilliantly expresses 3-dimensional form. In addition to coloring, lacquer and gold leaf are effectively used to heighten decoration. The pillars, crossbeams, and other structural elements are carved with patterned textures. The woodwork on the inner sanctuary features peach coloring, matching the strength of the surrounding lacquer. The Shōdendō, where artisans 250 years ago demonstrated extraordinary skill, has been restored using an innovative method that preserved all surviving original colors beneath new paint. Faithfully recreating the original polychrome through careful investigation. Cultural property restoration. It is not merely the act of reconstructing, but of deciphering historical techniques and passing them on to the future. Modern painters have inherited techniques transmitted unbroken since ancient times, and demonstrated them magnificently in the restoration of the Shōdendō. The Heisei restoration of the Shōdendō. Japan's cultural properties and the techniques that protect them continue to be handed down through such restoration work.